Tom, and I like to drink. We're drunk, by the way, just so you guys
I'm
know.
not
We're
drunk.
not drunk.
You guys are lightweight.
Shit, I drink more than both of you put together, you fucking... Anyway, just joking around. I'm Tom, and welcome to the Fanatical Podcast for the evening. We actually, we've been sitting around recording tonight. We just came up with an idea on the fly, which is actually kind of a cool idea. What do you think, Jason?
Still in my corner.
Still in the corner? Corey, what are you thinking?
I'm liking this. So, we're talking about travel. Like, places we like to go, places we have go, places we want to go. Places we have go. That didn't sound right. You know what I mean.
And how we get there, and just traveling in general, because it's pretty kind of fun.
I like traveling.
What's the farthest you've been from
traveling.
home?
Holy shit.
Mileage-wise, what's the farthest?
Like driving?
Yes.
Or just travel?
Travel.
Germany.
The farthest way you've been from home?
Shit. I've been... Well, you can't drive to the farthest places I've
It doesn't have
been.
to be driving. Be anything.
Well, yeah, that's why I said
mileage.
Germany.
Farthest away, Turkey. So...
Wasn't that too much farther than Germany?
Far enough, but yeah.
I mean, in comparison.
I've been to all but like 2 states. I've been to Hawaii, was the farthest west that I've gone. Farthest east, England, Scotland, Ireland, Spain, Portugal, France, Italy. We took cruises. My grandmother.
I did.
My grandmother. Well, remember earlier on an earlier episode, I talked about how fickle my grandmother was.
Yeah.
But one thing her and my grandfather always wanted to do was travel.
Yeah.
Grandfather died in '88. She had all the money saved up. So when I graduated high school in 1997, that summer, I'm not going to lie to you, the 4th of July weekend, that 4th of July, like the end of June, we went on a cruise to the northern Mediterranean. So we flew from Baltimore to New Jersey. First time I was ever in an airplane, I flew from Baltimore to New Jersey. In a propeller plane. To New Jersey. And then we flew from New Jersey to Portugal where you could smoke. My grandmother didn't know I smoked cigarettes. I'm smoking on this fucking plane. It was fun. I'm afraid of heights. I'm terrified. Like, I won't drive over the Bay Bridge. I'm terrified of heights. But when I'm in a plane, that shit was fucking fun. I'll get into that. A little bit later. Yes, I'll get into this conversation about the Bay
Hold
Bridge.
on. Before you and I take it over.
Yeah.
What's the farthest you've been, Jason?
Jamaica.
Shit, I've never even been to Jamaica.
It was fun.
Hell yeah, dude. Tropical, yeah.
But I was supposed to go. My cousin, Ben's probably listening. Ben got married in Jamaica, and I was supposed to go, but I didn't get my passport in time, and I couldn't afford it. It was actually relatively cheap, and I should have.
Awesome.
It was like they had it figured out that it was like $500 for the whole trip, and it was just a bad time, and I just couldn't afford to do it.
Go. Whoever go.
So, and I'll tell you.
Oh, no, it's not that I don't
And I'll
want
give you guys
to.
a cheap travel tip here in just a second.
Yeah.
So we took a cruise, going back a little bit, we took a cruise, so flew to Portugal, then when we landed in Portugal, we ended up Barcelona. So I was in Barcelona, Spain. Fucking awesome. 18 years old in Barcelona. Of course, I call my girlfriend at home as soon as I get to
hear
Barcelona.
a whole lot about Spain.
You know how much it costs to call international back in the 90s? Oh boy, I was expensive and I got in trouble for that shit. But anyway, so we got on the cruise ship in Barcelona, and we went from Barcelona, we did the south of France, we went to Monaco, which is a principality, I'm not going to get into all that, Italy, Turkey, Greece, and then our final day was in Italy again. But I got to go to Rome, I got to go to the fucking Colosseum, we got to go to the Olympic Stadium in Greece, I got to drink beer on the street, it was cool. The following year we went to England, Scotland, and Ireland because I'm Irish and Welsh. So we went to Wales, we did a cruise of the British Isles. And then in 2000 we went to Hawaii. So I've been all over the place. I've traveled every fucking where. It was so much fun. But road trips are my favorite thing to do.
Well, so before we get to that, I've been to Europe twice. First time, I was 8. No, I was 10. And we went, Reagan to London.
Yes.
London, well, our plane, the next plane was, something went up with it or whatever. So we were stuck in England for 24 hours. Which is all good and fine, except for when you have a 10-year-old in an airport without a hotel. And you have to switch airports. So we went from the one airport...
Gatwick to Heathrow.
To Heathrow,
back. Yeah.
Yes. And so then we went from there to Germany and went in through Frankfurt. And I loved Germany. Love it. That's one
food
place...
in Germany is hot dogs, right?
Bratwurst. Yeah, you'd love it. Jason would love that.
Corey and I, Jason and I are thinking you're on the bratwurst.
Anyway,
Email.
but I got to see East Germany too. This was right after the Berlin Wall fell. Can we act like adults for a minute?
Yeah, we're listening to why about talking about the wall. That was a pretty cool video to watch a wall come down, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
So I got to go
kinda
to
neat.
East Germany right after the wall came down.
Right.
Well, they didn't have clean water. So, like, as a 10-year-old, you're able to drink in Germany, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, certain countries in Europe, as long as you can see over the bar, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Man, your beer.
And you're with your parents. So they're like, here you go. Have fun.
Damn.
Yeah, it was fun. I've been to, and then we've, of course, done a road trip through there. So I got to see...
Germany?
No, well, through Europe. So I got to see
Oh,
France and, I think, Poland...
Oh, shit, see, I didn't even get to go to Poland. That's cool.
But, like, a lot of it, like, when you're 8,
It's
well,
different.
10.
With me being
and
18,
the second time I
and me
went,
being 18 and 20, like,
I
it
was
different.
10 and 12. So, like, to me, a lot of it kind of ran together. The second time I went was when I was just starting to get to, like, the rebellious years. And so I decided I was going to run away when I was in Germany. You can imagine how well that went because I didn't
Dude,
get
it would
very
be so
far.
cool if Corey joined the German fucking, the German fucking circus would have been awesome.
Well, that's one thing, one memory that ties me back to that. I told you I was an action figure kid.
Yeah, I guess, because I was a music kid. So my trips to England and Scotland were music based. So okay.
They had toy guns and stuff like that over there because their real gun laws are more harsh. But I had really realistic looking toy guns.
I had realistic toy guns here, though.
Well, but I got them. I got some over there. We put them in our bags to bring back, and they never made it back.
Jesus Christ. Corey was a terrorist before terrorism was popular. Smuggling fake guns into the fucking United States.
But as to road trips, I've been taking road trips as long as I can remember.
Me too.
Like
family vacations, bro.
Yes.
Bro, I'll never forget the ABC maps. You had to buy a new one every time you went to a different.
My
granddad would pull out a different one every state we would go into New England. We would drive.
My dad still does that to this day. Every time we go into a
Clayton's
state,
an older guy, bro.
he always gets a new map.
ABC map.
Yes.
ABC Maps, every time. That was a company. ABC Maps was a company back in the day.
We always just get a new map.
It's different, but it's different now. But back in the day, it was ABC Maps. Because my family was all from, because my grandparents raised me. So when I went on family vacations, they were from Pennsylvania. So Allentown, Scranton, that area of Pennsylvania.
Right.
But the rest of the family was from New England. So it was Connecticut, New Haven area, Boston, Maine. So when we would go to New England, Pennsylvania, they knew Pennsylvania well. But we got into Jersey, New York, Boston, all that shit.
You got a new map?
Road map. Lake George.
You stop at the rest area, you go to the bathroom,
they had the map books. They would buy every year. My granddad was the guy that had.
Well, by the time it was
he had to
we were
repair
stopping
kit, he had tire repair kits in the car. When we went on a road trip, granddad had all of it. He had flares. He had all that shit. What?
Hold on. That made me think of a story. I'm sorry, I gotta go off tangent for a second.
Notice I talk about round cylindrical things. And he's like, hold on a second.
No. You said something about tire repair kit. Early 2000s. Hold on. I got in a flat tire. I got in a flat tire in Baltimore, and I didn't have a jack in my car, so I had to call my parents. My parents came up, brought me a jack. My dad was like, who's not really mechanically inclined, was like, I got it. So he's changing the tire, putting the donut on for me, and like,
what the fuck were you doing? Clayton's an older dude.
Hold up. Yeah, but this was years ago. He was like 50 at the time.
Yeah, but what the fuck were you doing? Like, your old dad fucking do this shit, you fucking slacker.
Will you hear me out?
I'm just lying with you, man. I'm sorry.
Anyway, me and my mom were watching him, and I'm like, that doesn't look right. She's like, I know. Like, shouldn't that be under the car? He had put the donut on backwards, so it was outside of the car. What? You know what I mean? Like, it was instead of it going over the wheel thing, it was going on the outside.
If you look at a donut rim, the rim's out here, the tire's here, so there's about that much of a gap between. If you turn it on the other way,
it's outside the car.
It's sticking out. So while you look at the car, the tires are flush with the well. If you look at a donut, turn it out, that tire is sticking out.
Sitting out 2 or 3 inches. And I'm like, something about this not right.
Okay, so don't ever go on a road trip with Corey because if your tire blows out, he's
No,
gonna
no,
motherfucker
I didn't do it.
wrong way.
I didn't do it. My dad did it.
so
And then I said
curious.
something to
Still,
him.
you
He's
learn
like,
from your parents.
oh shit.
Oh my
And
god!
he turned it around.
But
But
luckily,
no,
I did notice that Jess has a donut on her car and it's on the right direction. So-
because I learned from my dad.
well, when you learn from your dad, you put that motherfucker. Oh, no, you learn from his mistakes.
Exactly.
As we all should learn from our
Exactly.
mistakes.
Anyway,
Hey,
so
hey, at least hey,
it
you
was
know what?
funny.
The
I had
moral
to
of
think
the
about it
story-
real quick.
Moral of the story for me is at least your parents were there to help you out.
Right. Anyway, on the road trips, so we used to take road trips every summer.
What
My
about you?
dad used to have a Ford.
What about you? What about your family? My family did. His family did. What about your family? Did you guys go on road trips?
Yeah, my dad and I used to every weekend. He would get up, get a map, and he would tell me, point, north, south, east, or west. We would never have a destination.
That's fucking. Now, see, that's different.
That's cool.
That's cool.
We did that, and to say we went north, we go to Pennsylvania, Amish country, whatever. Never have a destination, and
That's
that's
cool.
actually how I learned how to read a map.
Oh yeah,
I would literally tell him, make a left here. Like I would learn how to read a map,
You were the navigator.
which most
Yeah.
kids nowadays they don't. But no,
Oh
it's
no,
paper
because you
and
got
pen.
Google Maps. or
Jess
Google
would be
Photos.
navigating for me with GPS and still fuck it up.
Yes,
I love you, Jess, but you do.
I'm literally holding this piece of paper, and I'm like, yeah, your exit's here. Like you're counting. You're
Uh huh.
literally learning how, like, if it's going.
It's a lost
west.
art reading the map.
No,
It
reading off
is.
directions on the phone. I remember
Yeah,
just going
yeah.
back to that. I remember
No,
like
reading the map is a lost art.
living in Pasadena where I lived. I remember like I didn't drive, so like if I would go out on a date with my girlfriend. Like my girlfriend's parents would come and get me, and they're like, "Give us directions." Okay, you take 100 all the way to the end. You at the end of 100, you follow the loop to the right. And then you follow Mountain Road down. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to see Lakeshore Elementary on your right-hand side. The next right's going to be North Shore. You'll see a big blue sign. They're like, yeah, okay.
Now,
Dude, that's how we gave directions back.
And that's-
You wanna
Do you
make
know
two
why I'm
rights.
laughing, Jason?
No,
You want to make 2 rights.
Yeah.
You want to make 2 rights at the end of the road. So I'm just saying, like, yes, there was maps and there was also giving directions back in the day. You want to take 2 rights and a left.
And I was doing that a lot of on the fly, and that was pretty cool. We used to go to like Williamsport, Gettysburg. We just go. We never had any destination.
Just went.
Whatever we did, we just went.
That's rad. See, we
And
didn't
That
do
is
that.
awesome.
South,
We didn't do that.
east, whatever, and whatever we hit, we would stop. There was never no like, hey, we're going here today. And after a while, we're like, all right, let's go here. And that's how I really.
Now, did you have any spots, like, after a while doing that, do you have any spots that you would really like to go to, though?
Really like Gettysburg. Do you remember like going there, climbing the rock, and
Oh, Devil's Rock? Like the big rock formation?
Yeah.
Devil's Rock,
yeah,
dude,
doing
yeah.
that, and you really learn. My dad was a big history buff, so he used to tell me a lot of that stuff. You know, explaining history because he has like a double major in history.
Guys, if you don't know, I mean, I know you guys don't know Jason, but I met Jason's dad
he knows
not
his
just
history.
recently. Jason's
Yeah.
dad's fucking awesome, just so you know.
He
Like
is, man.
he's awesome because every time I talk to him, even though he remembers me, he always tells me a funny story about Corey. I'm not gonna share the story now.
He makes
But
Oh, the one about
he
the
makes fun of Corey a lot.
the one about the
forklift.
The forklift, yes.
Yeah, that'd be-
Yes.
But no,
That is
Jason's
awesome
dad is
story.
just so you guys know.
Yeah.
Jason's
I
dad
still
is
tell
super,
that story to this day.
Well, both are my dad's passed, unfortunately. Both of their dads are super cool. Clayton's a very dry guy, but every once in a while when he does make a joke, it's pretty funny. Like
Oh, yeah.
Clayton's a good man, and Jason's dad's really cool too. But sorry
So-
to kind of. But yeah, anyway, go ahead. Yeah, so you.
Yeah, no, that's what we did. And just, it'd be awesome. And just looking back at that, that's something I'll never forget that. And just
Now-
really-
now-
So are you planning on doing that with April?
That's what I was going to ask.
Your
I would
daughter.
love to do that with her. And that's
I think
can't
she
wait.
would love that. Just
Oh, yeah,
when she's a
that
little
should make
older and can
her
remember it.
I think she would like it, especially like. Because kids get bored in the car, I think you give her something to
do.
do, but then you give her something cool.
Oh,
my
no,
thing with the
no,
road trips
yeah.
was I always remember the things I would
Yeah.
see or
We
do.
always played games. So it was like the license plate game. So you would
Oh,
do
spot
like you had to find all 50 states and license plates.
Or I spy with my little eye something yellow.
Well, we never did that. What we did is we did the alphabet game. So it was like you had to find a sign or a license plate with every letter of the alphabet in order.
We just spotted the states.
Well,
Whatever. Yeah.
yeah. But either way, it was
Yeah.
something to keep a kid occupied, and so they were constantly looking for that, and so then they weren't like yelling or
But
screaming
I
or
remember
whatever.
like going to like Thurmont, like I love Thurmont, Maryland now, but we would go when I was a kid, and I always remember going to get apple cider.
So
It was the same fucking place, Boggers, same place when I was a kid that was still there. So I
real,
was like,
real,
yeah, that's-
real quick
so
before
you wanna do that
hold on,
in
Jason,
April?
real quick before you say your story, just because I'm gonna forget. Going back to the giving directions thing. This was probably 2001, 2001.
We had fucking maps online by then.
Hold on.
Hey, love that.
Jason was at a friend's house, and he invited me and an acquaintance over at the time. And Jason was trashed. And Jason's like, you know exactly what story I'm getting ready to
I was
tell.
drunk though.
No, you were trashed.
Well,
So what? When you're a
Hold
kid,
on.
when you're a teenager, of course you're going to be
So
trash.
he tells us directions to get there, right? And it's in
70.
Sykesville,
It
right?
was. I was giving
And
you
it's like, all right,
directions.
that's cool.
Even trash.
So we get there,
Where were you leaving from?
Glenburn.
Bernie.
To Sykesville.
Yes.
And you did not print
Pretty
a.
good.
You did not go online and get an Arrows or an AOL map.
No, because
That
he
was
had given
trash,
us,
by
he had
the
given
way.
us directions, so we're good. We wrote down directions. Now the only thing we didn't know was once you got into the neighborhood. So once we got into the neighborhood, we called him again. We thought we knew, but we weren't 100%. We called him again, and he's like, "Okay," and he started the directions over
I did.
from Glen
I
Burnie.
did. I was drunk.
He opens the door, and he's still giving us directions on how to get there, and he's looking at us.
Jason, I still fault these dumbasses for not going on AOL and just printing on map off.
But, yeah. Well,
He's still giving us directions while he's looking at us.
Impressive.
He shouldn't have had them giving you directions. You should have just went online and got them.
And that's why I got that.
This was
Glenburn
before
map.
I was used to doing that. This was when I was still used to, oh, well, you go up to this light, you take a right, you go up 3 streets, take a left, and blah, blah.
That's how it was to get to my house. I'll never forget how I used to give directions. I still remember to this day.
Now,
Make sure you make a right at the North Shore sign. Make the right, follow it all the way around. When
Back-
you get to this, stay left.
Yeah.
Go down the hill, make a left on the second house on the right.
Now-
1139
now
Valley
back-
Drive. I'll never forget it.
back to family road trips, my dad used to have, Clayton used to have a Ford Ranger, and he had the cab on it, and we took a cot mattress and would put it in the back of the truck, and the luggage would go alongside of it. But we had an older gentleman that lived with us at the time. He was like a grandpa, and we would sit in the back, and like we'd all rotate. So like if we were on a long road trip, like Mom and Clayton might go back there and take a nap, and 2 of us would be up front, or me and Mom would be in the back, or whoever would be in the back taking a nap while the other persons were running around. But
how
it was a good use of a pickup truck, you know, to use that as a sleeping, kind of like you would a mobile home.
Back in the day, you could get nowadays. You could get away. That shit police be on your ass quick.
Oh, yeah,
Sitting in the
now.
back of the car.
Now,
no
yeah.
seatbelts.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you know
But
what my
back then-
seatbelt was? Well, bam! Put the arm over the chest.
Oh my
We'll
god.
talk
Now to be fair, Clayton almost always drove back then, and Clayton is notorious for doing 10 miles under the speed limit.
about- Hey,
So we didn't usually have to worry about getting pulled over until Mom started driving more, and Mom does
yeah,
20
Mom.
miles over
I
the
can see
speed
Mom
limit.
being like Mad Max in this motherfucker, like beep beep beep, get the fuck out of here! I'm a bitch. I can see your mom fighting people on the side of the highway. You cut me off, motherfucker.
But no, I mean, like, I love
Gang
road
move,
trips.
bruh.
We used to go to Indiana all the time. We drove to Texas a few times.
Fucking idiot. See, you had
He's
road
good.
trips to the boring ass states, bruh.
Oh, I love Texas.
Texas made Indiana. Oh my god, I was talking about this before
Well,
we got on the air, y'all.
Clayton had family in Indiana, so
I
we
was talking
go
about
see
this
them
for
a
y'all
lot.
before we came on the air, y'all. I don't know where y'all been, and anybody that's listening, you know I've been all over the place with y'all going to shows. For my friends that are listening, but one thing that we always agreed on is after Pittsburgh, the fucking driving after Pittsburgh is boring as
Is that
fuck.
bad?
I'm
Now,
talking
I
like,
will say West
we-
Virginia to Kentucky is horrible.
oh, psh,
They're right next to each other,
Pittsburgh
and
to-
it's horrible.
Pittsburgh to Ohio, just Pittsburgh to Ohio. Young, you pass the X. This is the highlight of the trip.
Actually, even driving through West
The
Virginia
exit
sucks.
The exit to no West Virginia schools because at least you're driving through mountains and shit.
After you get past the mountains, though, and it's just flat.
Oh yeah,
like,
when you get to where
I literally
the land of meth.
Jess and I were
Definitely.
going to Louisville, and literally we got past the mountains, and I'm just like,
It's flat and boring as fuck.
I'm like, we have to go to a rest stop. She's like, why? I'm like, I'm
Or-
gonna wreck the
Also,
car.
yeah.
Otherwise, like, we have to, even if it's just for an hour until the sun
we went
comes
all the
up.
way to Cleveland, and when you go to Cleveland, the only cool thing that whole trip is the Chevy Cruze plant, just because it's something different.
It's that bad.
Man, I went to Kansas, and I wanted to fucking kill myself. It's so flat and cornfield.
Been out there.
Bro, I hate cornfields, and all it was cornfields, and I got scared. I was like, I don't like cornfields, I don't like them, because every movie I ever
Too
watched,
many children
some
of the corn
scary ass
movies.
shit came out in the cornfield. I love eating corn, but I ain't going in them motherfuckers. But yeah, the whole mid area, North Dakota, South Dakota, all that shit. Anybody that drives through there, if you like it, you're fucking.
So I've
No.
been to like Kansas City Royals
Crazy.
Stadium before.
Oh, so I love both Kansas Cities.
They're nice.
Yeah, see, baseball.
Down
Now
there.
that's different.
I've been
I
there.
have a lot of friends that have done the baseball tour. If you have a destination, you can get past the boring.
Yeah.
Correct.
You can, but it's so boring.
But see, that's how I travel. Like, nowadays, if I travel, it's like, for instance, me and my family.
You'd be Clark Griswold right now. To me, you'd be like Clark Griswold. Yo, we're gonna stop and look at the biggest ball of twine. We're going to the House of Mud. This is that motherfucker. He
No,
would.
my thing is,
He would.
like,
yeah, Jelly.
the thing you plan is where you're going to sleep that night. So, like, me and my family are going to take a road trip to New England. And it's like, okay, that night, we have to be here. What we do up until then, free reign. Doesn't matter. We can stop and see this, we can stop and see that, we can stop and see this. This is where we're sleeping that night. So we just have to be there by bedtime, whatever that might be. The next day, we got all day to do whatever the hell we want, but that night we're sleeping X. The next night we're sleeping X. And we can do whatever in between there, but this is this is where we have to be at the end of the night. Now, that being said, like, when we're doing New England, most of the stuff we want to do is in Massachusetts. Because Boston,
Yeah.
all that, there's a lot of stuff to do in Massachusetts.
Ours was Maine and upstate New York.
I've been to Maine.
Well, but see, we've been to
Time to go.
New York just last year. We've been to Pennsylvania multiple times.
Go to Lake George and Lake Champlain and Fort Ticonderoga.
So,
Those are another spot.
but, like, so it's like, okay, well, when we get to
Awesome.
Massachusetts, we're going to do 4 days there. So it's like, okay, first day we just had to be here. Then we have 4 days to do whatever the
This
fuck
is
we
a
want
This is a
That's
Clark
cool.
Griswold commercial.
for
This is a
4
Clark
days.
Griswold
You know,
fucking
and
vacation.
then we're doing, we're going to stay in New Jersey. But we're going to New Jersey for 2 days, but one of them is going to be New York. We're in New York for a day. We're
Yeah,
gonna
you don't want, if you want to go to New York, the best thing to do is stay in Jersey, take the
and
train
take the
in.
path over. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the hotels in New York are fun. We've done it, but it's like
Yeah,
the best
but
way to
you
do
want
it
to
is
you want to
stay
be
in-
cost effective.
Yeah,
Go
stay
to
in
Jersey.
take the train.
It's like
Yeah.
$5 for the or $10 for the path.
and it's rad, dude.
Yeah.
Like even taking the train's fun.
Yeah.
I remember going.
So that's like, and
wild.
that's this Memorial Day. We're planning on doing that.
Nah, that's cool.
That's now. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah,
When do you leave
fun.
for your trip?
The Thursday before Memorial Day, so the 26th.
Good. You're going to be here for my birthday.
Yep.
Everybody, my birthday's May 21st.
Yep.
Make sure you remember
Yep.
the fucking weekend.
All right,
Yours,
so I-
yours is
Jimmy, what were you going to say, Jason? Before I throw
yours
my
is
can
a
at
Sunday,
you?
I think, right?
It is, but I'm doing something that weekend.
whatever it is,
Yeah,
I'm
but-
out of town that weekend.
The
Oh, that's
funny
great.
thing-
Yeah, April 10th. I'm out too then.
So the funny thing is, yours is that Sunday and John's is that Friday.
Yeah, John, we share a birthday. We every year we've done
Oh, John,
something.
yeah, I'm available.
Yeah. Cut.
Okay, man.
He's like, I'm going
Well,
I'm available too.
John.
I'm available for his birthday too, bro. Well, I'm available because my buddy's getting
So,
married in India.
you didn't-
the first 2 weeks of May, which is rad as fuck.
I don't think you realize this, but so your birthday is 62 days after mine.
Yeah, I didn't realize it. I don't. Yeah,
The only reason I know that is because
62.
the reason I know that is because Kelly, you know Kelly, his birthday is February 19th, exactly 30 days after mine.
yours 10th.
The 10th. His birthday's 3 weeks to the day after mine.
It is.
His birthday's 3 weeks to the day after mine. That's how I remember stuff sometimes. And maybe it's something like a learning deficit or whatever, I don't know, but that's how I remember things. It's like
I definitely
patterns.
think it was a learning deficit.
Probably. But
From that bald ass
it's
head,
like,
all
it's
that
like
cold air
patterns.
getting on there for
It's
you
like,
in the
I
brain.
remember patterns. So it's like, his is 3 weeks after mine. But like,
How
my.
the fuck is birthday
hold
a
up.
pattern?
Here, listen.
62 is pretty
His, my. Well, no, that was just math. Because I know John's is
Yeah, I get
60 days after mine, so his is 2 days later. But like your birthday, my mom's birthday, and Christmas always will fall on the same day of the week.
What does this have to do with traveling?
I don't know. I just got on dates. I got on a tangent. My bad.
What are we doing? We're gonna do a whole. We're gonna do a whole episode about math soon.
Yeah,
No, but seriously, go look it up.
God, the sunset is 6:52 p.m. Who cares?
I'm gonna start doing ASMR videos.
I think it's
My
interesting.
birthday is
My
60
bad.
days before yours.
Asshole.
What's going on right
I'm
now?
gonna throw a can at you. Can you hand me a can?
Ow.
Yeah,
Preferably.
sure.
Anyway, back to
Back to
traveling.
traveling.
Back to traveling.
We're not traveling for my birthday, but we're going to do something.
So yeah,
We're going to travel to the bar.
The farthest
Yes.
west I've been is Vegas. Jason took me there for my bachelor party.
I did.
I've been to Vegas, and let me tell you how much fun Vegas was. Farthest west I've ever been was Hawaii. Farthest west on the continental United States is San Diego.
The funny thing is
And
that
San Diego is fucking rare. Well, wait. Does LA stick out? Yes. So if you look
LA's
at
in continental.
if you look at, I know, but I'm saying like you look at how far like stuff sticks out. I think Riverside. No, Riverside's actually so the
Why are you
farthest.
paying attention to how much
West.
that stuff sticks
Shut
out?
the hell up. California's the farthest
No,
west
your
I've been,
business.
or the continental U.S.
How much? It's
I've been to
average.
Hawaii.
It's above average. She
I've been
said.
to Hawaii.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
I've been to Hawaii. Was the farthest west I've ever been is Hawaii.
I've been to California. It was just a layover.
California.
San Francisco layover. That was it.
San Diego is fucking cool. I drove from
No,
the San Diego
every
airport to
time I was in San
Oceanside.
Francisco.
The
In
yes,
California.
California.
In the United
California.
in the United States, with the exception of Vegas, because otherwise that would be everyone's answer. What is one place you will always go given the chance?
Shit, that's a tough one.
I'll tell you right now, mine's San Antonio.
Ooh, the Riverwalk is nice.
The San Antonio is one. Me and Jess seriously considered moving to San Antonio for a long time.
Shit, dude,
It's
tough.
cheaper.
It's tough.
It's beautiful,
It's tough.
but
I would.
That's a rough
that's
one, dude.
2,500 miles away.
How you gonna ask me some crazy ass question like that?
Hey.
That's a tough one.
Maybe. All right. Maybe because I've been there a lot. 'Cause
That's
part of
probably
my family is from there. It's probably Raleigh, North Carolina.
okay.
Ooh, I love
Yep.
North Carolina. I ain't
North
gonna
Carolina
lie.
is really
I
nice.
do love some North Carolina.
Until they give you speeding tickets. Anyway, we're not going there.
Well,
I would have said Florida until recently because I went on a really cool trip. Now, granted,
Florida is fun.
Now, granted,
until you get to the
people-
crazy people.
Now, granted, some of the people that I went on the trip with, long story, didn't like me. They thought they never wanted to travel with me, but I went with Patrick. It was fun. Florida, fun time. Now, if I anywhere, fucking Boston. I love Boston.
yeah.
Frankie Chairs is a shout out to you if you're listening. Boston is a 45-minute flight from here. If the wind is behind you on JetBlue,
JetBlue. Yes.
I flew
It's
from
usually
here
an hour
to,
and 20 minutes. But
I
yes.
left this
Yeah.
motherfucker at 9 o'clock in the morning. 45, not an hour later, I was at, less than an hour later, I'm at the airport. Hour and a half later, I'm eating breakfast. 2 hours later, I'm at a bar next to a fucking Boston College drinking margaritas.
So the funny thing
With the
is,
craziest motherfuckers that exist. But for me, it was New
Boston's
England.
fun.
Boston.
Boston's
Boston
probably-
is a blast, dude.
with the exception of like Ocean City, which is,
Oh, I love Ocean City. That's
but
easy.
with the exception of that, Boston, unfortunately, is probably the place I've been to the most and have done nothing in Boston except for go to the airport and go to work because I was there for work for like off and on for 3 months, but
I
never
fucking
did
love
anything
Boston.
in
Boston's
Boston
fun.
proper.
We partied, right? We saw some weird ass shit. I got in fights with people over fucking
We were.
sports. and it was
I
beautiful.
stayed when I stayed there. It was like in Brockton and like Avon and stuff like that, which is like
Brock-
south of it.
Yeah,
Isn't that
you
where
know what
all-
you know what Brockton is? Brockton is the Brooklyn Park of fucking
Yeah,
the
yes,
Brooklyn
I know.
of Boston.
I know.
That's where Dunkin'
Shout out.
Donuts was originally.
Shout out to
right?
Brockton.
Absolutely,
People know.
yes.
Everybody I know from
there are
Brockton.
Dunkin' Donuts everywhere.
Everybody
up
I know
there.
from
Yeah,
Brockton.
yeah.
I'm not hating on your city. You know I love Brockton, but
But I will tell you, one of my favorite restaurants in the world is in Massachusetts. It's called the Brook Kitchen.
the Fours was one of my favorite restaurants, and that was in fucking Frankie, you'll have to remind me where we were, but there was a place called the Fours, and they had that clam chowder. It was
But this,
fucking
they had
shit.
these steak tips. Like
Yes,
up there, it
yeah,
was like
steak tips are
tips
different there. Up there.
and like this. I don't even know how to describe it, but it was in like this sauce, and it was just over mashed
Yeah.
potatoes, and it was
Yeah. Steak
fucking
tips is
phenomenal.
Steak tips are steak
To
tips
the
down
point
here
that
are
when
literally
we're-
burned ends, but up
Yeah.
there steak tips is just Really, what steak
They're
tips are is
mini
strips of
steaks.
strip steaks.
It's awesome.
They're strip steak in a
And
sauce.
chopped
And you can
up.
either get it in mashed potatoes or in rice. But I
So,
love
like,
fucking.
Well, that's one of the things that when we go up there, it's like we all pick things we want to do. It's like we're going to the Brook Kitchen. They're like,
Fuck
where?
yeah.
I'm like, we're going to the fucking Brook Kitchen. Jess is like,
See, I always go to
absolutely.
the. I always like to go to the weird. Like when we went to Florida, I wanted the best chicken wings on my birthday because we were down there for my birthday. We went to this hood ass place. Like I'm talking, we
did
were
that
in a ghetto.
I had one
I
day
got some good ass chicken
experience
wings, bro.
in Boston. It was when Rachel bought tickets. You remember
Yep.
that? Went there up there.
Yep.
We went to a bar. We went, whatever it is, a little hole in the wall bar. We bought a cheeseburger. Swear to God, like they seared it for like 3 seconds. I bit in that and it was still pink.
Fuck yeah, St. Louis rare, baby.
Dude, I bit into that. It was like, I'm like, this is pink. Like they
I would've
pulled
done-
out a wrapper. They dropped the burger on the
St.
grill.
Louis rare, baby.
It was too long, and then just.
Philadelphia
I would have ate
style.
the shit out
Philadelphia
of that.
style.
I would have ate the
Dude.
shit out of that
It was my
hamburger.
first
dude.
time. I was like,
This is
What
I
is
ain't
this?
feel that. That's St. Louis rare. St. Louis rare is cool.
Well, no, I
It's
meant
enough-
that's what they
Yeah,
call
it was
steaks when
crazy.
you do that. When it's just like
Yes.
like burnt on the outside,
Seared,
but
that's
like
it.
it's
raw on
it's
the
because
inside.
they're killing the
Philadelphia style.
bacteria, so
that
it
was
doesn't kill you.
It just
So-
freaked me out. I'm never. I was like,
Because you grew up
what the hell
here,
is this?
and
Yeah.
here, unfortunately, no offense to anyone, here, unfortunately,
There's the seafood city, bruh.
It
Upward
is.
seafood.
and so a lot of people equate what you have to do with seafood with what you got to do to steak, which is like, oh, I want well done. No, you don't do that to fucking beef.
No, if
don't
somebody-
do
if I
that.
was- well, my boss would kick the restaurant I worked in when I worked in the city and that really high end. We did Delmonico steak, bro. If somebody ordered that shit well, he would tell them to leave. Hamburgers, fine, whatever, because it was. Well,
Yeah.
he wouldn't cook.
Yeah.
He would not cook it. Well. Now, granted, on the menu we had to put if you want it less than well. We're not responsible if you get sick because
Because that's
people's
a-
bodies
a
are different.
thing, yeah.
People's
Yeah,
bodies
yeah,
are different.
yeah.
But nah, man, I had to follow the test. There's a test you do.
Oh yeah, with the thing. I was never a cook in a restaurant, so I don't
So-
know that, but John does.
So you hold your fingers together, and this is medium, well done. Like literally, like this is well done. If it's your pinky to your thumb, well done.
The toughness of
The
it.
toughness of the meat. You knew this is meat. This is medium or rare. Like, but anyway, we're getting off top. But yes, a lot of road trips is food because every
It is.
town has their
experiencing different. Yeah,
And so, like-
lobsters. You go to Maine, bro. You got to get a lobster.
So
steak.
I
You know what
personally
I
am
mean?
someone
Like, it's in Boston is steak tips, bro. Like you get.
I'm someone
you
who
get
is
steak and you get steak
notorious
tips.
for hating trying new food. I am bad about that.
Pizza,
You're
New York.
weird.
But well, it's just how I am. But I have the last few years, the last few road trips we've taken, been like, nope. We go on a road trip. We go someplace we've never been before. We don't go to an Outback. We don't go to a
Yeah,
whatever.
Now
We
you
go
gotta
to
get the
some
local
places
cuisine,
there.
bro.
Well,
You
no,
gotta
but that was
at least
something
one day.
we
You gotta
didn't
get
do
local
before.
cuisine,
I
bro.
get that's something you got to get over.
Right. And so, like, for instance, like
Yeah.
this, just like a month ago, me and Jess went to Atlanta.
I get it.
And we went to Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola World thing. And they have sodas from all over the world, half of which you
This
won't
isn't
ever
food.
see.
This isn't food we're talking about here.
Well, drink is still food.
No.
Okay, but just hear me out. Anyway, but still, getting over trying something, I tried all of them, which I normally wouldn't do. Still, like, when we went to a restaurant, I got something different. When we went to Buffalo last year, every restaurant we went to, I got something different that I wouldn't normally get.
Shit, in
try
Buffalo, I'm
something
going
new.
buffalo wings everywhere I fucking go because that's
Yeah.
I got.
Oh yeah.
I'll get the delicacy,
The
bro.
whole point is that I'm trying to do something different. You know, like last time I went to San Antonio, I got Mexican food. I don't like Mexican food, but I normally, yeah.
Speaking of which, that's why I want to go to San Francisco. Yo, I want to go to Chinatown in San Francisco. I heard they got
That'd be cool.
bomb ass food. in
Like I said, I was there on the
Chinatown,
later
San
one
Francisco,
airport. That was it. That's the only time I've been to California.
California.
I want to go.
Yeah.
The only time I was really in Arizona. Well, no, I've been to Arizona twice, but one time was.
I want to go
I like-
I
one
want to go back to
time.
Arizona,
I
bro.
want to go one time to Comic Con in San Diego.
That'd be awesome.
I don't anymore. San Diego. Now, San Diego, I want to go to Comic Con. Not so much.
I
I'd
would
rather
love
go
to just go
D23.
once.
It's not like it used to be.
It's
man.
not, but I
Nobody's
would like
going
to
it
just
used
go
to.
once.
Just to say you were there.
Yeah.
No, but
No.
I will tell you, San
agree.
Diego is the bomb.
Now, the time to
Shitty.
go was obviously like 10 years ago. Like during
Yeah.
like the the height.
The craze.
Yeah.
San Diego is a bomb, dude. I love San Diego.
That'd be
It's
cool
just-
to go.
And like I want to go to Chicago. I've only been to Chicago on a layover.
Deep, you got to get a deep dish pizza. Oh my god! I tell you, the place to go, man. I've been there. We used to go to. There's obviously most of the places I've been to was because of being into bands, or going to either following a band somewhere, or being a roadie for a band, or just going with my friends because I had a weekend off and I just went with them to go.
Another place I really love is Louisville. Louisville's
I've been to
awesome.
Louisville, dude.
Oh no, it's Louisville. Do not
I
say
know-
Louisville.
I know what it's
Do not
called.
say Louisville because
I know what it's called.
you will get shot. It's Louisville. It's awesome. You would love it.
Yeah, I'm also from
You would love
Baltimore.
it. I know.
Balmer.
Baltimore. No, you'd love Louisville.
Oh yeah, I'd go. Look, for the longest time, most of the places we went was rotated around drinking. Like we
Have
went
I-
to Cleveland. We went to Cleveland and like I had a blast in Cleveland because we went to this one like sketch bar where we got like a shot and a PBR for like $9 or not even $9, like $5 or $6. It was fucking awesome. Like we always rotated our stuff around.
Have we
the
told
party,
you the story
party.
of me, just my parents went to Louisville, and I was like, I'm notorious for when we go someplace. It's like, oh, I like to go walking. Like, oh, we'll just walk there. We'll just go explore. Well, we went to Louisville, and I'm like, oh, they have. It's called 4th Street Live. It's kind of like Power Plant. It's just right down the street. We'll just walk there.
Fucking 3 hours later.
No,
you
it was
ain't even there.
5 miles, which to me is no big deal. You know, Jess on the other hand.
Yo, you need to go to
It was
downtown. You wanna
95
walk
it was
somewhere
also
cool, go to
95
downtown Disney,
degrees.
bro. Go to downtown Disney.
Oh, I
if you
know.
want
Oh,
somewhere
I've
cool
been
to
there.
Walk, bro.
It was like 95 degrees, and she's like, we get to the place. Jess isn't a big drinker. We get there, Jess like, I need a drink. I'm like, we can get you somewhere. She's like, fuck you, I need a drink.
Yo, you brought up Texas, so if you ain't never been to Riverwalk in San Antonio is a bomb.
He hasn't.
No.
Yeah. Oh no.
Riverwalk in San Antonio is a shit.
you Google-
Corpus Christi is badass.
I've
Any
never
beach-
been there. I want to go
Any
there so
beach
bad.
on the fucking Gulf side is
yeah.
the shit, dude. Like I love
Texas?
like Clearwater Beach in Florida, bro. I wouldn't
You-
go swimming on the Sharky side. I went swimming on the other side.
So you go to you Google San Antonio Riverwalk, and the photo you see, that is literally 100% how it looks. That is not like places will like doctor up or
It's like an outdoor mall. Like there's like
it's basically like
kiosks.
the boardwalk,
Yeah.
but on two sides of a river in the middle of the
But it's
city.
like restaurants, and then there's like kiosks and little shops. Like I remember Patrick went.
I love it. It's beautiful.
I went.
The whole city's beautiful.
I went
and
before they really redid it, but
Yeah.
Patrick went after that, and like he's taking pictures, like sending pictures. They had like because there's a lot of
They have the Alamo
Hispanic,
right there.
There's a lot of Hispanic heritage.
So,
So like one shop you're at would have like a lucha mask,
Yes.
or somewhere else you would go would have like cowboy attire,
Uh-huh.
or just. But it's like an outdoor mall with restaurants, bro. Like
They have like
It's so
stuff that you would
beautiful,
know,
dude.
like How the Moon and stuff like that. But they also have like one-offs. Like there was a British pub. Like why would you have a British pub in San Antonio, Texas? You know what I mean?
Well,
but it
you
was
have them
awesome.
everywhere else.
right? But that's not what you think of more Mexican
Why are you
stuff.
hating on? Why are you hating on the British? Why are you
No,
saying
it was
British?
awesome. Used to be, and they had to change it because of health reasons.
So
But
it's
it
Texas
used to
is only
be-
Hispanic. Is that what you're saying?
It's not all.
I'm messing with him.
I know.
By the way,
The Riverwalk used to run into the mall and would go through the food court. It doesn't anymore. It ends at the mall and it goes under the mall now.
yeah, flooding kind of.
Yeah.
that one.
But it used to be so cool. You'd be in there eating whatever at the thing, and the river's running by you inside.
Definitely want to check that out. That'd be cool.
But, I mean, it's still, like, they opened up that part of the mall, so it's
Yeah.
outside now. But it is beautiful.
Like
Like,
another place is
I'll
rad to
probably
go
do
to.
that.
Fuck, if you ever want to go to Canada, now y'all gentlemen are not single. If you're a single man and you want to have a blast up in fucking Canada, Frankie, if you're listening, you know what I'm talking about. You go to Montreal.
All right, why is it not listening?
why are you asking
Montreal.
Frankie for help?
No, Frank. He was the man who introduced me to going to Montreal. Bro.
I want to know which guys he introduced you to.
He did not introduce me to guys. He introduced me to the love of the best strippers in the planet. Montreal has an underground mall. First
in
off,
Tom's
because it
world,
snows
they're
a
called
lot.
Chippendales.
So first off, it snows a lot, so they have underground stores. So when you go in, there's a lot of malls that are actually underground, but the bars there.
He likes snowballs.
Boy, but Montreal, Canada's fun to begin with. Like if you go to Toronto, like
I've not been to Canada and I want to go.
you go to Toronto, you can go to the Botanical Garden. We used to go when I was a kid. That was one of the. We'd go to the Northeast, and part of it would go into fucking Niagara Falls. So I'd go behind the falls, do the little boat trip. We'd go behind the falls, like I said. Or we go to Toronto side, go to the Botanical Garden. But as I got older, a lot of it, like I said, was traveling to visit friends, and they would take me places. I had not gone to Montreal before. My buddy was always talking about it, so I took a trip to Montreal with another friend of ours, and yeah, it was as much fun as I was told.
And that's where he saw giant snowballs.
Now, it wasn't snow. If we're talking about snowballs being on the front of a very attractive woman, then yes, I saw lots of those.
Last year,
No offense, ladies.
me and my family, we went to Niagara
Chippendales?
Falls.
Chippendales.
Niagara Falls.
Because y'all trying to pop that shit on me, bro.
And the whole thought being,
You saw balls?
Mom wanted to go to Niagara Falls, and it was like, okay, well,
Corey wanted
we'll
to see balls.
go to the Buffalo side, and if we like it, maybe we'll get passports and we'll go to the Canada side. Maybe the year
But
following.
because you have a record, you can't go into Canada.
We
Giant
go.
balls.
I'm ignoring him, by the way.
You can't go
we
into Canada.
go.
There's a record.
And we go see the falls and all that, and then we're like, well, we don't really need to go to Canada to see this because you can't see it any better there than being in the falls.
But it's not
literally-
about the falls on the Toronto side, bro. There's way more fun on the Toronto
I'm not
side.
saying that. I'm just, but you know, in context of the falls, it's like, well, we don't need to go to Canada to
The
see more
balls.
of it. No, falls, not balls.
No,
I know you're thinking of the balls, and that's fine.
He means balls
No.
and Chippendales.
It's like, yeah, right. That's all he wants.
See, there you go. That's about you.
No, I don't.
This is okay.
I have balls. Someplace in the United States you want to go that you have not been.
Where I want to go? Nah. Because you guys talked it up and being real is honestly Texas.
Yeah, I love Texas.
I really do. I will
San
love
Antonio's
to
beautiful.
go. I would love
I
to
think you want to go there because you tilt to the red. I think it's political reasons you want to go there.
You know, I have
thinking
been,
Texas
but I haven't been in a
falls.
long time. I want to go to Amarillo and get that big steak that it's like a 64-ounce
What a
steak or whatever.
Fuck, would you want to go to Amarillo of all places?
Well, I was born there.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I thought you said you were born in
I said I was born in Amarillo, Texas.
No, you didn't.
He did say he was born in Texas.
Yeah, but he didn't say no. He didn't say Amarillo, did he?
I do not make me plug in audio from the.
Listen. You don't have to. We
You don't
recorded
need
it.
It's right. Hold on. Tom, where do you want to go you haven't been?
No, I'm still talking about this Amarillo.
What?
No, him.
Here we go.
Amarillo.
I was
where
born in
you're born.
Amarillo,
Awesome.
Texas.
And you said you want to go to Texas.
I was born. I was
you have a
the last.
specific place in Texas you want to go, or you just want to go to Texas?
You need to pick a specific place because it's like 500 miles from the tip.
I
to the
know.
top.
I know where I would tell you.
You know, I don't know. I just want to go to Texas, sounds cool.
San Antonio's perfect. Don't say Dallas, or I'm gonna throw
No.
you out there. Fuck.
The only thing I will say,
Yeah.
I drove through Dallas, and I'm not a Cowboys fan,
that
but
stadium.
their
is-
stadium is amazing.
I was about to say you
looking.
should I probably want to go to that stadium at least once.
Like,
but I would
just
go
to
there for
see
something
it,
to
I
not
know
see the
you're
Cowboys.
like the opposite of that.
Correct.
But
Burn it down. Yeah.
but
Well, I would
to
go there for a
just see it,
concert.
because it is amazing looking.
Go there for a concert or
Give 'em-
something. Don't
you
go
give
there
'em
for
that.
a football game.
Yeah, no, we didn't go there for that. We just
No.
literally drove into the parking lot, and you could see straight into the field.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like, it's
I would go to
amazing.
see, I would go to see that stadium though because that stadium looks dope as
It
shit.
is.
I'm not gonna lie.
It is
dude.
dope as shit.
Nice.
They did wrestling there, and I'm like, I would probably go there just for something other than fucking.
Tom,
Football.
inside the continental USA, where would you go?
Man,
that you have not
want-
been.
oh my lord,
Where you
where have
go?
I not been in the con? I've been so many places.
We didn't say you had to go somewhere you haven't been, but I mean, preferably
Man, if I could just go back anywhere. No, you know what? I want somewhere I would.
someplace you haven't been. Where would you like to go? Limit you.
Shit.
I do want to go to Seattle too.
That's where I was going to say Seattle.
I've been out west. I've been
I've been out west. I would Seattle, or I'd want to go back to Arizona. To be honest, like I'd want to go back to because Granddad used to always go to Scottsdale. I'd like to go to Arizona, see where Patrick's from because I haven't been to where his town's from. But I would say if I had, Seattle, just because the music. I was growing up. I'd love to see the sights of the places
Right.
where the bands that I grew up listening to really are from. But
Yeah.
Seattle would be my spot. And then I would make fun of all the people that go to the original Starbucks, 'cause I hate Starbucks.
Yeah,
It would be a multifaceted
Definitely
trip.
agree.
No, Pacific Northwest.
I'd be cool to visit.
Okay.
Again.
I don't want to go. I would like to see Yellowstone and all that shit, but it also would require me going to the states that are. Now,
You could fly to those.
let me put a caveat in. Now, I would like to go to Oklahoma or one of the Oklahoma or Kansas, one of those states, only for one specific reason. And I would not drive there. I would fly there, chase tornadoes.
Kansas City is awesome.
I would chase tornadoes like a
He's
motherfucker.
right.
You go to Kansas City though, you'd have a.
I want to go
blast.
to Oklahoma City because I've heard some fun.
I've
stuff
never been
about
there.
Oklahoma
I've been to
City.
Kansas City on the Kansas and the Missouri side,
Yes, I have been.
and
too.
it is a beautiful city.
It is.
But I want
Mom.
to chase tornadoes. I don't give a fuck about the states. I want to chase
Mom and
tornadoes.
them went there
I got.
to see. They stayed right next to the stadium, the Kansas City Royal Stadium,
Yeah, I know. I went to that.
and the floor they were on, like you could perfectly see the game, and they had
That's like
fireworks
seeing an
every night.
That's like seeing an Orioles game. You're watching a team that sucks.
Well,
I got
yeah,
some-
but this was also 20 years ago.
I do have something
They're
against
a little
strip clubs. Remember when we went back then? If they sold beer,
You had to bring it.
no. They kept the top on. If it was topless and they showed their tits and all that, they didn't sell beer.
Huh.
It was weird.
That's how it is in Virginia.
That's
Virginia?
how it
Oh
was
no! I hate. We went to a
Wait a
strip
minute.
club in Richmond. And we
A
got
lot of them are like
Yeah.
pasties only.
Yeah,
That's
they're
how it was
in
there.
Richmond. It was pasties only. I was like,
That
this is
was my
bullshit. I'm going back to
first
Baltimore.
time.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait
We
a
had to
minute.
go. We had to go find a hook because I worked for Circuit City, and at the time, Circuit City's headquarters were in Richmond. So we went to a strip club. I was like, this is the worst shit ever. They were wearing pasties. I was like, I could go get a hooker and get her naked in a hotel for cheaper.
So you seeing tits, you're like, but you can't drink a beer. I'm like,
Have I told
doesn't
you
make
guys?
sense.
Have I told you guys the story of the first time at a strip club?
Oh, here we go.
This is a different episode.
No. We have
This
to
is
tell
a
this.
different
I
episode.
have
Can
to tell
we
this
finish?
one. I have to
Can
tell
we
this
finish
one.
the conversation about where would you go in the continental U.S. that you ain't been? We
I
haven't
said
finished
Seattle.
yet? Oh yeah,
He
okay.
did, he did.
I have to tell the story real quick.
Here we go.
It was Noah's 18th birthday. My good friend Noah, before he passed.
And you went to the Eagle.
No, we went to McDougal's.
I can't go there because everyone that goes there I went to high school with.
We went to McDougal's. For those of you who don't know, McDougal's is like the worst strip club in Baltimore.
Absolutely not. Haven. Go to Haven Place in
Okay.
Baltimore City.
Okay,
and
well,
talk about the worst place of
This
Baltimore.
was it's down at the bottom of the list.
Sherry Show Bar on fucking Eastern Ave. No, not Eastern.
This is
Avenue.
one that's down near the bottom of the list. Anyway, we get
No,
there.
it's high class compared to some of the ones. I've
Anyway,
been to
we
in the
get
city.
there, right? We're having a good time. And there's these three old guys on the other side of the bar. They buy Noah a lap dance for his birthday. Now, mind you, Noah was like Jason's shy. Noah was shy. Noah would not talk to a girl to save his life. I thought he was gay until he was in his mid-20s.
Wow, dude.
Anyway, no, that's not a bad thing. I've told him that. Anyway, they buy him a lap dance. Me and Josh, the other guy who was with us, went and shot pool. He comes out and I'm like, you okay? He's just blank look. It's like, you okay? He's
Can I
like,
get $20?
huh? Okay, no.
I
He's like-
walk out. Can I get some
he
more money?
comes
I want
out and
another
he's just like, it was fucking hilarious. I can't do it like he did it. But it was just fucking hilarious. He was just like dumbfounded. Like it was the first time he had seen a naked lady. It was hilarious. And those of you who knew Noah knew how he was with that, but yeah, it was funny.
My favorite strip club story. We're gonna talk. I'll tell one. So we're on my friend's bachelor party.
Okay.
We're all, and we go. We like to go. We have this weird thing about going to sketchy strip clubs. Go to one place called Sherry Show Bar on Route 40. It is horrible.
I think Jess knew someone who
Their
worked there.
D list was working. I'm talking bullet hole, C-section scars, bad. All right. So we go to a place called Haven Place. So you go out of Sherry Show Bar, you walk down 40, you make a right on Haven, and it's right there on the right. And there's some decent looking girls. It's not terrible. This place is bad, like Haven Place. I open the door, and when you open the door, the stage is to your. I mean, you literally walk in the door, and you look over, and you can see my hole. So I walk in. We're not all together. We're not all together. You know, we kind of break up. We had this like little like group, there was like 20 of us outside. We had this little group meeting. And we were all like scolding, like Vikings. We're like, yeah, crew, yeah. We're getting hyped up. So everybody walks in. Me and my buddy are outside having cigarettes. So I walk in. Like, yeah, all right. We open the door. And I look over and I see this girl shaking her butt and doing all this stuff. And then she looks behind and looks at me. I'm like, I know you. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I went to high school with you. And this girl's face is white. This girl, Summer. I was like, Summer, what are you doing? Her face goes fucking white because she's on her with her stage name. I'm a hammered ass drunk. I was like, Dan, you remember her? And I'm like looking at her. I was like, I remember that butthole anyway. But I wasn't like that. But yeah, dude. This girl had a fear of God in her fucking eyes. She went white as a ghost. But it was a girl I went to high school with.
Just had a couple friends
That's how
that
it was
worked
down-
at that Sherry's Show Tunes or whatever it was.
Well, that's how it was in the place in Dundalk. There's a place in Dundalk that had a strip club. I went in there and I knew a bunch of the girls. But I couldn't go to the place in Pasadena because I walk and be like, oh, she went to Northeast or she went to Chesapeake. I know both of these girls. But no, we walked in there, man. I was like, oh, look, it's Summer. Remember her, Dan? And she was like, oh, whoosh, pale white. I remember that butthole. I didn't really remember. I remember her face, but I was just like, she's butt ass naked, shaking her butt in my face.
That's
she was
funny.
walking in the fucking door, and I was like, ah. But now the weirdest one we ever went to was a double wide trailer in Pennsylvania. We went to a double wide trailer strip club in Pennsylvania. Literally, it was 2 double wide trailers glued together in a strip club. I think it was called the Wagon Wheel or some shit. I don't remember. But anyway,
It was the wagon.
But a lot of my
The double wide.
younger travels were family vacation.
Yes.
My older travels were me and my friends going to a concert, or they were playing a concert and I was following them, and it was usually rotated around where the fucking party was, and we always made the party happen.
I've actually taken surprisingly few trips with friends. I've gone to Vegas. We all went to Vegas.
We did, yeah.
I've done Ocean City a few times, but that's it, really.
Shit. I've been all up and down the East Coast with my people, West Coast.
Either it was a trip I took by myself, or me and Jess, or me and my family when I was a kid.
All those trips to Cleveland were with my friends, and it was bad. Every hotel we were filling the bathtub to sink up with fucking ice, putting. Oh man, I'll tell you all the story one time when we went to Foxwoods in fucking Connecticut. I don't even get into that story, but Frankie Chairs is going to come up in a lot of my stories in the future. But we'll leave it at that.
There you go.
But I think we're we definitely talked about some good travels, folks. Like
We did.
You
Good
put some
comments.
comments, man. If you went on any of these trips with that.
Where would you like to go? Where have you been, and
Yeah.
what's
Let
the
us know.
place you want to go the most?
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Give us some feedback. Give us some likes. Please follow us. Please
This is
pass it
fanatical.
along.
Share the show.
We
That's
are
the
on.
best thing you
We
do.
are on
Share it.
Facebook. We're on
Facebook, Instagram.
I don't know what a
We're not on TikTok yet, but
Shit Talk or whatever the fuck it's called.
we're on Twitter. We're on YouTube.
Twittagra. If you
Twitter.
Tom's just started
Twitter.
YouTube or Twitter for us. He is, or not Twitter. The other thing, the Chinese one. Tom's starting it.
TikTok?
TikTok.
I don't even know how to use TikTok.
That's
I'm
why
old.
he's starting it.
TikTok. I'm TikTokaholic.
We'll have to learn. We'll put it on.
But I mean, we're on Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher.
definitely.
We're everywhere. We
whatever
should be
streaming-
everywhere you can listen to a
streaming,
podcast.
Amazon
you can find
Music,
it.
Fanatical Podcast.
Google Play, Fanatical Podcast. Check us out.
And there will be video eventually. Right now, it's just a bunch of images.
Yeah, we're
but
up
it'll
on
be okay.
YouPorn. I mean YouTube.
Oh.
There will not be any YouPorn videos. I'm joking, but we will be.
If they are, it's going to be only Tom because I won't be there.
Tom's
Promise you.
OnlyFans.
Tom's
Yes,
OnlyFans.
if you click on our link tree, there is
You
not a
see
link
what-
to
you
anyone's
see one of his
OnlyFans.
left tips.
There's nothing, no OnlyFans links in our link tree, so be happy about that. Not hating on you ladies or men.
No, why?
man,
They're
not
fucking
hating
making
on
money.
you.
I'm proud of them.
I'm proud of you making money, but you will not find any of that in our link tree.
Nope.
All right, folks. I'm
Thanks for listening.
Corey. This is Jason.
I'm Tom.
No, you're not. You're Jason.
Oh, maybe I am.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
Jason.
I'm Jason.
I'm Tom.
I'm Corey.
We're all fucked.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Bye.
Right.